My seatmate was so annoying in school today. She kept copying my ideas in class. I think she's even going to use my idea for her project.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I'm sure it is just a small misunderstanding. Have you tried talking to her?
No, but I have a better idea. I'm gonna write a post about it. It's bound to reach our other classmates and teachers.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Why not? It'll be anonymous, and plus, I won't write her name.
I don't think that's a good idea. Even if it is anonymous, you shouldn't say negative stuff about people online. I mean, you wouldn't want to say that to her in real life, would you? Then I don't think you should make a post about it as well.
You have a point. Should I just try talking to her?
Yeah, I think that's a way better idea. And always remember, we are Christians. You shouldn't say bad stuff about people, even if it is anonymous and online.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Speaking of online, have you checked out the latest INCRadio HK yet? Look.
Oh cool, hold on, let me show it to my followers too.
Remember, we are Christians even when online. Let's shine as lights in the world, even in our social media.
No, eto na pala yung naging activity namin last week Like, share. Oh, hello ba? Want to keep posted about sa mga aktibidad ng Christian Brotherhood International? Well, i-like mo lang at i-follow ang CBI official Facebook page. And let us connect with other students na Iglesianicristo members all around the world. Dahil kapag ikaw ay estudyante at Iglesianicristo member ka, dapat CBI member ka.
CBI is an essential part of my student life. Kung may mga exams, panatag ang loob ko kasi may mga isinasagawang panalangin. And maraming mga activities that motivate me to become more active and to have a positive perspective upon facing academic challenges.
Hi mga ka-CBI! Hi,
Hi,
At hello din sa'yo ka-CBI! Oo, ikaw! Dahil kung estudyante ka at Iglesianicristo member ka, dapat CBI member ka!
Don't forget to like and follow the official Facebook page of Christian Brotherhood International.
Time is passing by so fast. Everyone is in a rush, hurrying to achieve their goals, rushing to accomplish everything we need. At every tick of the clock, people tend to worry about their everyday living. Due to that, we are led to get pressured with our responsibilities in life. As we sojourn in this world, it seems like we are having a race against the clock. But I am grateful because while everyone is rushing with their appointments, my alarm reminds me to kneel and pray. The time when my faith will be all the more strengthened, the love of God will be felt, and my hope will be increased. As members of the Church of Christ, our services to our Almighty God are always our top priority. We are confident because of our Lord God. We always trust in, believe in, and rely on what God can do for us, and that is why we are assured in everything. So don't worry, do not be bothered. Keep your faith strong, spread love, and be hopeful.
INCRadio Reminders.
Mula sa mga simpleng salita,
Anak, maraming salamat sa padala mo. Makakabili na kami ng gamot ng iyong tatay. Maraming salamat.
Naku Naku, inay, wala po yun. Ang mahalaga, maayos po ang inyong kalusugan ni itay. Mag-iingat pa kayo dyan lagi.
Na may kalakip na kahit namumunting bagay at sorpresa na nadudulot ng tunay na
Hi,
kasiyahan.
Mom! Flowers for you! Love you po!
Oh, nagulat naman ako sa'yo. Ano meron?
Wala po, Ma. Nagagawa po kami ng project sa school. Naisipan ko po na gawan kayo ng paborito niyong bulaklak.
Oh, ang sweet mo naman, manang-mana ka sa papa mo.
Lalong higit sa mga panahong mabigat at may pagdadalamhati.
Ate, kaya mo po yan. May awa po ang Diyos. Malalampasan mo rin po ito.
Basta mula sa puso, madadama ang sinseridad na tunay na magpapangiti sa ating mga mahal sa buhay.
A few reminders from INC Radio. Because in INC Radio, we care as family.
Ito ang INC Radio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasahimpapawid mula sa Quezon City.
Ang impilang ito ay kasapi sa KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Ang ating Philippine Standard Time, 6 na minuto makalipas ang alas 7 ng gabi. Punta muna po tayo sa ating satellite studio there in INC Radio, Micronesia. Nasa Guam po ngayon, Sister Randy. Happy day.
Hello po, KJ. Hello po. Kumusta po kayo?
Okay lang po kami dito po sa main studio, dito po sa Quezon City, Philippines. Diyan po sa Guam. Kumusta po dyan? How's the weather right now, Sister Randy?
Okay lang po. It's medyo mainit po. But it's okay. As the evening progresses, it's getting colder naman po. Thank you po.
Opo. We're very excited to your prepared program po, ka Randy, sa ating INC Radio Micronesia Satellite Studio. I-welcome na po natin, brothers and sisters, mga kaibigan. Let's welcome INC Radio Micronesia.
Thank you po, KJ. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our listeners and viewers here on INC Radio Micronesia. My name is Sister Randy from the local congregation of Machanao, and tonight the title of our broadcast is How to Celebrate on a Budget. And we have our brethren from the local congregation of Cobblerville, who will we introduce later on in the show. So please be excited for that. And before we progress with the rest of our show, I just wanted to first introduce our fellow co-hosts here with me on the island of Guam and also there on the island of Saipan.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our listeners and viewers. My name is Brother Michael. I'm from the locale of Guam, District of Micronesia, and I am here to assist with co-hosting with our sister Randy. And we hope that you will enjoy our broadcast tonight.
Wherever you are tuning in from, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone viewing. My name is Sister Anne from the sunny island of Saipan, and I will be one of the multimedia members who will be helping in different segments of the broadcast today. I'm so excited to hear about all the ways our guests celebrate on a budget, so please continue staying tuned, and also please share your own experiences in our live YouTube chat below.
Greetings to all and welcome back to Micronesia's INC Radio Satellite. I am Sister Jillian Mayes from the beautiful island of Saipan. I will be one of your YouTube engagers tonight, and we are so happy to have you here with us again, coming back once again for our broadcast tonight. We are delighted to be back here at the studio to dig into our discussion tonight. Together, let's join in on the fun, share your answers, and we'll be reading them throughout our live. And we can't wait to hear what you all have to say, right, Brother RY?
Yes, Sister Jillian, and I would like to introduce myself. Hello and greetings to everyone. I am Brother John from the local of Saipan, and welcome to our INC Radio Micronesia. I am so happy to be back in the broadcast, and I'm pleased to announce that also be one of the YouTube engagers for today's broadcast.
Thank you, Brother RY, and to our team there in Saipan, as well as to Brother Michael, who is joining us today as our co host here on INC Radio Micronesia. Now, before we proceed with the rest of our broadcast, we wanted to first give our special greetings, starting with Brother Michael.
Yes, and we always like to pour our hearts out, our greetings to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and also to our SEPC President, CEO, and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. Thank you po for always your support and help to each one of us po. And we hope that you will continue to stay well po and in all in the endeavors of the church po.
We also have more greetings to our District Minister, Brother Noel Gasman, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Daniel Jeffrey Munar. Thank you so much, Po, for always supporting our live broadcast, and we hope you all enjoy our topic for tonight, Po.
Now, before we continue and proceed with our broadcast, if it is your first time tuning in to INC Radio, watch this video on how you can continue to support us.
Hello, Team Live Chat! We love hearing from you, but we want to know, where are you tuning in from?
Have you heard about our hashtag challenge?
That's right! Don't forget to hashtag your local congregation in the comments down below.
Not only that, hashtag your CFO too.
And at the end of the show, find out who won our hashtag challenge.
Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
Now, good evening, everyone, and welcome back again to INC Radio Satellite of Micronesia. I'm Sister Jillian, and it is time to hear from our early birds. Those of you who've been tuning into our broadcast early, sharing your thoughts and greetings with us. And now let's dive into the comment section. Here we have Brother Julius Malabanan, our Assistant District Minister. He said, "Good evening, brethren from the District of Micronesia. Enjoy the show. Greetings to our District Minister, Brother Noel Gasman, and his family. Have a great show, INC Radio Micronesia." Here we have Sister Jennifer Carlos saying, "Happy viewing po, hashtag Mangilaw." Here we have Brother John Michael Balmonte, hashtagging, hashtag San Jose, hashtag CWS, hashtag Kadiwa, and happy viewing po. Happy anniversary to the District of Micronesia and local of Guam. And here we have Brother Matt Luis Pasha, hashtagging, hashtag Saipan, hashtag TSB, hashtag Binhi, hashtag CWS. And here we have Sister Carms commenting, hashtag Cobblerville. And here we have Brother Leonardo Cristobal Sr., he is hashtagging hashtag San Jose, hashtag hello po to all the secretaries of local of San Jose. And here we have Brother Roger Villegas saying, saying good evening, brethren. Good evening po to our District Minister, Brother Noel Gasman, and to our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan. Thank you po to everyone who shared their greetings through the comments. Whether you're a new viewer or not, we're glad to have you here with us po. Here we have Brother Jan next to me. Brother Jan, what should everyone in the chat look forward to?
Yes, Sister Jillian, I have a great news for our viewers in today's broadcast. Our YouTube engagement team will post questions in the comment section, and this question will be mentioned and read aloud during the broadcast. These engagement questions are open to everyone for answering, and we encourage you to share your thoughts, so stay tuned and listen for your chance to participate. I'm eager to see your responses and delighted to feature your ideas in our broadcast.
Thank you so much, Sister Jillian and Brother RY, for engaging us in the YouTube comments. And we're excited for the YouTube comment questions that will be coming up. But before we get to that, we want to see what's been happening here in the District of Micronesia.
CFO in action.
So on March 5th, we had a special gathering in commemoration of the 8th anniversary of the District of Micronesia. And in this activity, many of our brethren from the different local congregations here on the island of Guam gathered in the local congregation of Guam, and those in the outer islands, like in the islands of Saipan, Palau, Pohnpei, and the other islands here in our district connected via WebEx. And this special gathering was led by our district supervising minister, Brother Noel S. Gasman. And in this activity, all of our officers and brethren gathered together for this wondrous occasion. And coming up next in Micronesia's lineup on March 17th to continue the celebration of our district and also for the 55th anniversary of the locale of Guam, we will be holding an in concert program. So we hope that we see all of our brethren and guests on this very special occasion for a fun night of performances prepared by the different local congregations here on the island of Guam. So we hope that we see all of you there, dear brethren. Now, before we proceed with the rest of our show, Brother Michael will lead us into our next segment.
Yes, and coming up next will be a short station break. So for our viewers, please continue to like, share, also comment down below so our team may catch your comments as we go on through this broadcast. So our Kuya Tech will now go to our station break.
Nakikinig kayo sa Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan.
As the world is becoming more chaotic and people are facing more hardship, the Church of Christ members in the Ecclesiastical District of Macau thoroughly fulfill their mission in inviting more people to listen to the holy words of God. They participate actively in various methods of propagation, like Pastugo God's Message magazine distribution, and inviting their friends to Bible studies. INCRadio Macau Satellite Studio is united to the extensive works of propagation launched by the church administration. Join us this Sunday, March 10, 2024 at 9 p.m. Chinese Standard Time and Philippine Time for another episode of What Does the Bible Say, wherein the dangers of changing doctrine will be discussed. See you there!
Welcome back to INCRadio Micronesia. And now we will be introducing our guest for this evening. And once again, the title of our broadcast this evening is How to Celebrate on a Budget. And our guests come from the local congregation of Coblerville. And we would like to start first with our very familiar face and as well as our other guests. And we would like to start with our sister, Cresia.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everyone viewing in our INC radio at this moment. Thank you so much for having me once again. Yes, I am kind of familiar to this. I'm a familiar face, but to those who are new, I am Sister Krisha Rodriguez, and I am from the local congregation of Coblerville. I'm very happy to be back, and I'm excited to discuss this topic with you all.
Thank you, Sister Cresia. And now we would like to introduce the one who is sitting next to her, our brother Cat Mello.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to whoever's tuning in. Yes, like Sister Krisha, I am a familiar face as well, but it is a good thing that I am back again after a long while. I am glad to be back on INC Radio. I am Brother Cat Mello Nicholas from the local congregation of Coblerville.
Thank you, Sister Cresia and Brother Cat Mello. We are also very excited for what you have prepared for us this evening in our discussion. But before we proceed to our discussion questions, I would like to proceed first to Sister Jillian to introduce us to our first YouTube engagement question.
Now, for our very first engagement segment, we want to hear from you, our amazing viewers. Our first YouTube engagement question is, what color stands out the most in a celebration event? Share your answers in the live chat below and let's spread some positivity together.
Thank you, Sister Jillian. I'm very excited for what our YouTube commenters have or will answer to that question. If I were to answer that question, I would say the color gold. um, just to tie it into the theme of celebration and milestone anniversaries for our district po. So now we will proceed to the first question. So, Sister Kresia, we'll start with you. What are some suggestions on how you can save on preparing for a celebration?
Okay, so first of all, I prefer to confirm and finalize the day of that celebration because if it's just tomorrow,
Yes,
that's
yes,
so surprising, right? So, other than that, another suggestion to save or like prepare for the celebration is to remember to spend for your needs and not your wants. I mean, I know we're encouraged nowadays, to treat ourselves. However, but it's very important to set aside on what we need. So, for example, the celebration, right? It's a birthday celebration. It's probably weeks ahead, and if you're working, and of course you're gonna get paid, you have to set aside, what you need for that celebration. But that's my suggestions. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for sharing. I also agree. How can you plan or celebrate celebration if it's tomorrow? So what if a friend approaches you and they're like, "Oh, Ate Krisha, can you help me decorate for my graduation party?" And you're like, "Sure, when is it?" And she's like, "Tomorrow." And you're like, "Oh, I can assist you in some ways, right?" But you still try to in some way help them or lend a hand, because that's still your friend or your loved one, right? Now, for Brother Catmello, same for you. What are some suggestions on how you can save up when preparing for a celebration?
I guess I can build off from what Sister Krisha mentioned. So it is always important to know the date so you always have time to prepare for the celebration. Also, set up your own goals, create a budget, and list out things that either needs to be purchased or what you want to get accomplished. And then when you're executing, sometimes we tend to get distracted to grab whatever's on the shelves, but it's always wise to always choose to spend wisely on things so we don't overspend and we maintain within the right budget while still having good quality things for our celebration.
Yes, I agree, Brother Catmello. Being budget friendly, right? That's why we are celebrating on a budget. So, for myself, if I were to answer this question, suggestions on how you can save when preparing for a celebration. Something that I mentioned before was maybe ask your friends if they know how to do certain designs or decorations. So, for example, if your theme of your birthday is like floral theme and you want floral cutouts or something like that, maybe ask a friend who knows how to make those cutouts so you don't have to spend money in buying floral decorations or things like that. So, it's always good to ask, or if you know someone who is skilled in these kinds of things, right? So that you're able to save a little bit more and again, be more on the budget friendly side. Now, Brother Michael, what about for you? What are some suggestions that you would give when saving or, preparing for a celebration?
For saving, so I know back in the day, right? The way they set up celebrations or parties, they give or they prepare like invitations using cardstock paper. Nowadays, you can save by just sending away a picture or through text messages. That's one way of saving for when you're preparing for a celebration as well.
Oh yes, digital invites instead of a physical one, so you can save not only paper but yes, also save financially. Which I also agree. I think it's more convenient, right? At least for myself to send a digital invitation. But thank you so much for sharing with us on how you save and when you prepare for a celebration, as well as to our guests. Thank you so much for sharing with us your tips on how you prepare a celebration and being a budget friendly side. Now, before we continue with the second discussion question, Brother RY, is there anyone in our YouTube comments that you would like to read out for us?
Yes, sister. I saw plenty comments in our comment section. First, in the comment section, I see Brother Matt Luis Pasha saying, for celebration, colors blue and purple is my favorite color scheme because it looks very regal and elegant in a way that captures people into being drawn into vibrancy po. And also have Sister Brit Ashley Malabanan saying, I think the color that stands out the most in a celebration is pink. Maybe because it's my favorite color. Yes, I will say agree. I have a lot of friends who has like their favorite color is pink also. And
I like pink also.
yes, right. And I saw also Ate Merlin Tabuena hashtagging Saipan and hashtagging Kadiwa. I also see Sister Eileen Clarencia saying more power to INC Radio Micronesia, hashtag Jigo, hashtag Korpalau, hashtag Buklod. And I also see Sister Mary Grace Napitan answering our discussion earlier saying it's better to plan ahead of time, mostly if your budget is tight. I really agree to that because if you know your budget and you know you're tight in budget, you can be organized and you know how to budget and handle your money.
Thank you so much, Brother RY, for sharing with us those comments. And thank you to all of our YouTube chat commenters for sharing with us your answers. And just to also agree with those who said their favorite color is pink, that's also my favorite color. So that, of course, that also stands out for me too, right? Um, I also like the I like to mix colors. So like pink and white, for example, those are also colors that stand out for myself. Now, before we go on to the next part of our broadcast, we just have a live reporter here. Ate, maybe if you would like to give your live report.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sister Randy, and to all the brethren there in Micronesia. So, katatapos lang po na isinagawa ang Band Together District Finals dito po sa distrito ng Davao City. Isinagawa po ito sa isang gymnasium dito po sa Davao na dinaluhan nga po ng lahat po ng kapisanan dito po sa aming distrito. Masaya po ang naging gawain at katunayan po nito ay meron po tayong 4 contestants po kanina at ang nagwagi nga po ay mula po sa Exodus Band, mula po sa Manila area. Yan nga po. Talagang ang aktibidad na ito ay talagang pinasabikan po ng mga kapatid at ang aktibidad na ito ay nagsilbi po talagang inspirasyon po. Lalo-lalo na po sa mga kapatid natin na mahilig po sa musika. At yan lamang po ang mga huling pangyayari po dito sa isinagawang Band Together dito po sa aming distrito. Ako po ang kapatid na Maybelline Taroha. Back to you po and thank you po sa inyo.
Thank you po. Ang saya po dyan. It looks so fun there. Thank you so much po, Ate
Thank
May.
you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Now to proceed with our broadcast, we would like to call on once again our Ate Jillian to introduce to us the second engagement question.
Hello to all the brethren who's still actively tuning into our broadcast. Now it is time for our second YouTube engagement question. It is, what is your target budget for a celebration consisting of 500 people? So share your answers in the live chat below and let's spread some positivity by sharing ideas to each other.
Thank you so much, Sister Jillian. I'm also very excited to see the answers of our YouTube live chat commenters. Now, before we continue with our second discussion question, I believe we have another live reporter here with us on INC Radio Micronesia. Ate Rose, if you're ready po.
Yes, hello po, Ate Randy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening po to all the listeners and viewers of INC Radio Micronesia. Ayan, earlier po at 6 p.m. ay nagsagawa po ng pamamahayag ng mga salita ng Diyos dito po sa Ipil area na isinagawa po siya sa Barangay Gituan, Pangi, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. At ayun, marami po ang mga naging panauhin, marami po ang mga kapatid na nagdala ng kanilang mga panauhin. Ito po ay pinangasiwaan ng kapatid na Ray Caranto, ministro po ng Ebanghelyo. At pagkatapos naman po ng pamamahayag ay nagbunga po ito ng kasiglahan sa mga kapatid at meron pong mga panauhin na nagpasya na pong umanib at nagpatala bilang mga bagong doktrina po. Yan lamang po, ako po ang kapatid na Rose Jane Panolin mula po dito sa distrito ng Zamboanga, Sibugay.
Salamat po, Ate Rose. Thank you so much po. Now, as we proceed with the rest of our show, we will now go to our second discussion question. And this time, I will start with Brother Catmello. Now, Brother Catmello, what are some items in your celebration that you save on and some on what you can't?
Okay, so starting off, I think food is very essential in having in our celebration. So I would say from personal experience, my biggest chunk in my budget is always goes to food. Okay, and decorations is always like a secondary thing since you want to make the celebration not look dead, right? You want to
Makes
keep
it
it
lively,
lively,
yes.
yeah, add colors and everything. Then I guess things I save up a lot on would probably be venue choices, since there's a lot of like public parks and like on we live in the islands, so we have a lot of public pavilions that we can choose to hold our celebrations in. So yes.
Thank you for sharing that. I also agree that food is a very big part when having a celebration, of course, right? How are you going to feed your guests? Are you just going to stand there and stare at each other? I don't think so, right? So, of course, I think on if you're going to talk more about a budget-friendly side, of course, right, it depends on what kind of celebration you're having. So, I know there's some celebrations where they do a potluck style, so everyone brings a dish. So that's a little bit more on the budget friendly side. Or if you want to have, you know, I saw something online before where it's like they have themes of parties. So they have a theme of like everyone brings a dish or everyone brings a dish of that's the same name as or the same letter as the letter of their first name. So for example, mine is Randy, so R, and I'll bring rice. It's easy, right? So that I've seen things like that at different celebrations like that, to be on a little bit more budget friendly side and also to also involve your guests a little bit more. But now we want to hear from Sister Cresia. How about you? What are some items in your celebration that you save on and some on what that on you can't?
So Brother Mello actually stole my answer about food because what is a complete celebration without food, right? But of course, it all details down to how many people there are going to be in your party, right? In regards to the items that I would have in my celebration, DIYs.
Yes.
DIYs are it makes us become more creative and more useful with what we already have in our own house. Other than that, I would also purchase items that I can reuse and not just for a one-time use. It breaks easily, it gets thrown away. So I would get items that are reusable. Um, what else are there? What else are there? But I think yeah, that's it. The items that are reusable, and of course, detailing it down to like how many people there be in the party, and what decorations you want as well.
Yes, I agree, Ate Krisha. You're making use of your skills and of course reusing decorations that you've already had before. Just like what I mentioned earlier, right? If you based on the certain theme that you're going for, if you know someone who is skilled in making those, or if even yourself, you know how you can, use that and ask them for help to save a little bit more and be on the more budget friendlier side. So we can do a lot of things actually to have a more budget friendly celebration. So thank you so much, Ate Krija and Kuya Katmalo, for sharing that with us. Ate Jillian, would you like to read some YouTube comments there in our live chat?
Yes, Sister Randy. So now let's catch up on the latest comments towards our third YouTube engagement questions. So, Brother RY, what is your answer to our second engagement question?
You know what, Sister Jillian? I haven't really organized a party consisting of 500 people. So I would say my answers is based on my own perspective on what I see on other parties also. So in my own perspective, I would say my budget will be 2,000. Because for me, my budget is like kind of simple. I like simple parties, and I'm a person who like straightforward parties, and I don't put so much like fancy stuff, but it just like
It's meaningful.
yes,
Yeah.
meaningful. Yes, you're
Being
right.
together with those who are closer to you.
Yes. And also take note, I am a Filipino, so I can like I can do like those market bargains. Ask my neighbors to help. Can you help me to cook this? Do you have this thing? Or like, do you have this? Like, do you have a rice cooker that I can use? Like, yes, it actually asking help is really gonna help you to save
Sharing is
budget.
caring.
Yes.
Sharing is
How about you,
caring.
sister Julian?
So for me, brother RY, my answer to our second engagement question is we can save. My answer would be my target budget for a celebration with 500 people would depend on the type of celebration we're going to do and to the location and the specific needs of the celebration. So having for a rough estimate based on the celebration with 500 visitors, aiming for a budget of I would aim for a budget of $10,000 to $15,000, but that's unrealistic, guys, because I don't have that much money. But considering the factors like food, venue, decorations, and entertainment, I think that's reasonable, especially with this 500 people.
Yes.
So here we have Brother Matt answering our question. He said, my ideal budget for about a sum of 500 people would be approximately $1,000 to $5,000. So if not to double digit thousands, since food, decorations, and the activities placed would be very costly. So we are so happy for all the answers that we all shared to our comment section, and we are very looking forward to more of your answers to our next questions. So back to you, Sister Randy.
Thank you, Sister Jillian and Brother RY, for sharing with us also your answers based on the YouTube engagement question. But before we get to the second part of our broadcast, we have another live reporter here. Hello po, Kuya Arvin.
So, good evening everyone, good morning, and good afternoon po sa lahat na nakikinig at nanonood sa atin ngayon. Ako po ang kapatid na Arvin J. Mancao mula po sa lokal ng Kabasalan Distrito ng Zamboanga, Sibugay. Nagsagawa ng pamamahayag ng mga salita ng Diyos dito sa lokal kaninang hapon. Sinimulan po ito kanina sa ganap na ikalas 4 ng hapon ngayong araw. At ito po ay pinangasiwaan ng kapatid na Rondo Papuran, Ministro ng Ebanghelyo. Marami po ang mga kapatid na dumalo na may dalang maraming panauhin. At pagkatapos po ng pamamahayag, nagbigay naman ng kakaunting refreshments ang ating mga kapatid sa lokal sa ating mga bisita. Layunin po ng mga aktibidad na ito ay mas lalong maipalaganap ang mga salita ng Diyos na atin pong sinasampalatayan sa loob ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Yun lamang po, balik po sa inyo.
Salamat po, Kuya Arvin. Thank you so much po for sharing with us your activity that you held earlier today. And now, as we proceed to the second part of our broadcast, Brother RY, would you like to read to us our last engagement question for this evening?
Yes, Sister Randy, for our third and final YouTube engagement question is, what is the first thing you observe when entering an event? Again, what is the first thing you observe when entering an event? Like that, this one is a good question. Like, so please share your thoughts in our YouTube live chat, and we're excited to see your responses.
Thank you so much, Brother RY. We hope that everyone continues to participate and join us in our discussion questions and as well as our YouTube engagement questions. And now we are on our last discussion question for the evening, and we will start with INCRadio once again. So for INCRadio, why is budgeting important when preparing for a celebration?
Okay, I think it's a general sense or common sense that we need to budget when we are going to have a celebration, because you need to set aside certain amount for those certain items that you want to provide for your party, right? Sure, we can be, like pretend flowers, right? We might like it so much that we want to buy so many flowers, but you can't spend most of your money on that, right? You have to consider the many things, because if you don't budget your items,
Yes, you're right.
you're only gonna have flowers for everyone. Oh yeah, that's why I think budgeting is important, so we can set aside for the things that we need.
Yes, just like what we mentioned earlier, right, on being on the more budget friendly side when as we are stuck on the topic of decorations and DIY and all that stuff. But personally, I am not very good at DIY, but at least there are some friends that I know who are very skilled in those that are very willing to help. If in any celebration and things like that. Now to Brother Catmello, how about for you? Why do you think budgeting is important when you prepare for a celebration?
For me, I guess it kind of branches off with the same thing about decorations. I mean, like there's other options out there, like we mentioned or discussed, DIY, which does help a lot in saving money, or like your idea that you brought up about food wise. But for me, it is very important because it is wise to be able to accommodate our guests and having a nice celebration in a way we don't overspend, since we ourselves also have other financial responsibilities that could also be our priority. So it's always good to have a bit of saving on the side and be sure that we always have at least emergency means of finance on hand, because we don't know, uh, as we go through our day-to-day lives, we might need cash on hand. So we don't want to invest too much on the celebration.
Yes, I agree. And you also want to be able to maximize your resources. It's not just, you don't just limit it to your budget, but it's also, everything outside of that, right? It's like, sure, you have your budget set, but it's also like, what do you need this budget for, right? So it's like, let's say you need this amount for food, but then what if you need this other amount for decorations? But then it's also like, what if it wasn't enough, so you need to balance out that budget in order to make sure your celebration goes out smoothly and everything goes well. What about you, Kuya Mike? What do you think, or why is budgeting important for you when you prepare for a celebration?
Well, I don't really prep celebrations that often, but one thing's for sure, you gotta budget, especially if you want a lot of food in the celebration. I know, I know everyone likes to go all out on the catering or the food, uh, but like what Brother Camelo, Sister Krisha also mentioned, it's important because we also have many financial responsibilities, and we don't want to empty out our wallets right away for just a specific celebration. So budgeting is important so it can balance off your financial needs in the long run too as well.
Thank you for sharing with us, Kuya Mike. There's a lot of ways that we can, do budget-friendly things based on our celebration. But at the end of the day, right, it's more about the people you celebrate with rather than how your celebration look like, and how you set up the celebration. The decorations at the end of the day will not even matter. It matters more about who you spend that celebration or that special day with. So thank you so much once again to our co host, and also to our guests for sharing with us your answers on how you celebrate on a budget. Now, Brother Arway, is there any more YouTube comments that you would like to read for us there on the YouTube live chat?
Yes, sister. In the comment section, I see Sister Irene Odaga saying happy viewing from the locale of Kiraya, district of Nogaya, Japan. Hello po from the brothers from the locale of Nogaya, Japan. And we also have Brother Joff saying the first thing I observe whenever I enter an event will be probably be the decorations and the amount of people in the event. I also see Sister Liaga Garcia and Sister Charliano saying stage decoration, and I also see Sister Glenna Serrano. The first thing that catches my attention in an event is the decoration, and I also see Brother Matt Luis Pasha saying the very first thing I observe in a celebration is if there will be people or friends that I know of who I can talk with during the event. Since at times I become an introvert, and when I'm with people, and I really agree to that. That's really also my answer, Ate Krisha, because every time that I would go to a party, I will look for my friends or like classmates or anyone that I know so that I can go with them, because sometimes I feel like when I'm with my friends, I feel more at ease.
Yes, you feel more
Yes,
comfortable,
comfortable,
right?
and I can share what happened to my day and stuff. But it will it will be not a party if I didn't look for refreshment or foods also.
You're so used having food.
Yes. Yes, sister. That's all for now. But I like to say thank you for everyone for participating, and please continue to watch until the very end of our broadcast.
Thank you so much, Brother RY. And again, thank you to our live chat commenters for participating in our discussion and as well as in our YouTube engagement questions. And before we go to the next part of our broadcast, Brother Michael will lead us into our next segment.
Yes, and it is once again due time for us to have a station break. But before we go to on our station break, please continue to stay tuned to INC Radio Micronesia. And after, once we return, we will have more exciting and fun segments for you tonight. So please stay tuned and we will be right back.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
What INC original music do you love listening to? Do you have a playlist of your favorites? Share it with us and let's enjoy our favorite music together. Tune in to INC Radio Spain Satellite Studio on Sunday, March 10, 2024 at 3 o'clock p.m. Central European Time, 10 o'clock p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Don't forget to send your messages, comments, and greetings with your local hashtag. See you there!
Welcome back to INC Radio Micronesia. And now for our next part of our broadcast, Kuya Tech, what time is it? Yes, now it is time for our game time. So if our Kuya Tech can pull up our game time for all of our viewers and our guests. So our game for this evening is called This or That. And our guests, and also there in our YouTube live chat, will decide which of the two options they would choose and why. So if our Kuya Tech, can you please pull that up for us? Okay, so the first option. So at the Cresia, would you rather celebrate at home or eat out at a restaurant?
Oh no, this is hard. But I think I prefer to celebrate at home because I enjoy my family's presence there in my own comfortable space. We can be as loud as we want. And they can bring food that they can master, and then because their food is delicious. I love their own cooking, so yes, I prefer to have my celebrations at home because it's more meaningful. There's no limitations to a certain food, no limitations with our volume, and yeah, karaoke also, with the family.
Yes, I agree at the cruise, and I think having it at home is more intimate only because you are with people who are, most closest to you and your loved ones in your life rather than, well, of course, it depends also on the celebration that you're having, right? If you're going to have 500 people, you can't have 500 people in your house because I don't think we'd fit, right? But, of course, it really all depends on the kind of celebration you have or you prefer. Of course. What about you, Brother Catmelo? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to celebrate at home or eat out at a restaurant?
From experience, celebrating at home never really went well. So I personally always opted for celebrating at a restaurant. I do find what after Krisha did mention, like, there is those limitations, like there's a certain time we have to meet or else we'll get kicked out. There's a volume that we have to always be mindful about. And yes, in the comfort of our home, it's nice. But for me, I feel like the elegancy of a restaurant vibe does hit different than my own home.
And also, I just wanted to add, Brother Mello. Sometimes, when we don't have time, like to set up in the house, having it in a certain venue or like a restaurant, it actually, helps us like less stress
work.
or the burden of planning.
Yes, it really, and again, it really just depends on what kind of celebration you're having, and of course, the preference of your own. But also for me, I think I prefer to have it at home also, only because I do like the presence of just having my family only, and also those who I'm closest to. So of course, it really is at the end of the day just a personal preference. But now let's go to our next one, Kuya Tek, if you can show that to us. So, do you prefer cake or cupcakes? Let's start with Brother Catmello. Which one do you prefer?
That's a tricky one. I think I suggest cupcake because I feel I'm on a good diet with a cupcake than an actual cake.
How about you, Ate Krisha? Which one do you prefer?
Cake. Anytime I can get a certain serving I want, cake.
Yes, I think I agree with that too, and I think also I guess it also depends, right? Because with the cupcake, it's easier to share with others, right? You don't have to worry about cutting the cake because you might cut the cake bigger than you might cut one cake bigger than the other person's, and the other person's like, oh, I want a bigger slice, but then it's like, what can you do about it, right? It's not like the cupcake; they're all the same size, so it's easier to share. Let's ask Kuya Mike. So Kuya Mike, what do you prefer? Do you prefer cake or cupcakes?
It depends, because I'm gonna expose myself here. I'm lactose intolerant, so um, I would say cupcakes. And if it's an ice cream cake, I would go with the full blown cake.
Cake. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I agree with that too. If it's an ice cream cake, I think the whole round cake, right? I prefer that too. I think I'm on the same page as you, Kuya Mike, with that one. Now we will go to our third um choice or third options of our game, and they are okay. So do you prefer physical invitations or digital? So we were talking about this earlier. So let's start with Ate Krisha again. Do you prefer the physical invitations or digital?
Did you guys want to answer first?
Hmm.
It really depends on the type of celebration it is, right? Okay, let's say for example like wedding, okay? I prefer getting physical invitations because that's so meaningful, But let's just say yeah, maybe like a swimming party, right? Yeah, sure. I'm okay with the digital invitation. So, Sister Rani, I'm gonna go 50-50 with that. I'm okay with either one.
No problem. But also just like what we discussed earlier, right? Um, the digital invitations are a lot more convenient, I guess, especially if you're trying to invite those who do not even live where you stay, right? So they are a little bit more convenient nowadays. But there's also like the verbal communicate or verbal invitation, right? So I know a lot of people do that nowadays as well. So it also depends on the preference of the person, I guess. I know sometimes they do prefer like a physical invitation, or they don't mind a digital one, or they don't mind if you just say it to them, you know, conversationally, or if it just slips in the conversation. So it really just all depends again, and I also, right, on the what kind of occasion it is. So for example, you said a wedding. I also prefer a physical invitation because that's a very special moment in someone's life, right? So it really all depends on the occasion, and also I guess the preference of the person. That will be our last one for this evening, because we have another segment that we would like to go to. Brother Michael, if you can lead us to that segment.
Yes, and for our viewers, we will dive in to our next segment, which is language time. So if our Kuya Tech can help us with the presentation. Okay. Language time, INCRadio Micronesia. And in our language time, we will learn three words from English to tomorrow. So our first word in English is happy, and in tomorrow, and just a disclaimer for me if I pronounce it wrong, please forgive me. For happy, in tomorrow it says minagof. Minagov. Okay. And for the next word, we have smile. And in Chamorro, we pronounce it as chalik or chalik. Okay. In our last word for language time, we have beautiful, and in Chamorro, we say bonita. Bonita. Okay. We hope that you have uh, enjoyed the our language time for our broadcast for tonight. And Sister Randy, you can take it away.
Thank you so much for leading us in that segment, Kuya Mike. I think you even pronounced it better than me when I was trying to pronounce those earlier. Now we will go to our guest once again. To our guest, if you have any final shout outs that you wanted to give, let's start with Brother Catmello.
So shout outs to brother Kim Federico from the locale of Coberville. Hello po. And also shout outs to Sister Christine Ladra from the locale of Saipan. Hello po.
Sister Krisha, how about you? Do you have any guest shout outs for us? Or crew shout outs or shout outs in general?
Shout out to the brethren in Coblerville that are viewing this INC radio and supporting our Cobler brethren. Other than that, just a shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It really, really does mean a lot to us. But sure, special shout out to my family. I love you.
Thank you so much, Ate Krisha and Brother Catmello, for your very special shout outs to those loved ones in your life and in your locale, of course. And thank you to the local congregation of Coblerville for allowing us to have your Sister Krisha and Brother Catmello to join us this evening. Now, Brother RY, is there any last minute YouTube comments that you would like to read for us, Paul?
Yes, sister. Before we end our broadcast, I would like to read some brethren who are keep commenting their local, and this is Sister Glenna Serrano hashtagging Garpan hashtag Buklod. I also see Sister Ligaya Garcia saying Garpan and Buklod. Oh, everyone is Garpan here now, and I see brother Jerry hashtagging Mangilaw, and also have um, Sister Joy Kamba saying hashtag Guam, and I also see Brother Clifford Genove hashtagging Ponape and hashtag Buklod, and I also see Brother Manuel Manalatas saying magandang gabi po ka INC Radio Micronesia live chats and at sa lahat ng kapatid sa buong mundo. Watching and greetings from the locale po ng San Agustin, San Fernando, Pampanga North. Hello po. And I also see Brother John Pro saying hashtag Tinyan and hashtag Bukulod. Hello po. And I also see Sister Arlene. Even she's not here in the broadcast, I see her interacting with us in the our live chat. But that's all for now, Sister Arlene. I mean, Sister Randy. I'm sorry.
Hi, Sister Arlene.
Okay, Brother RY. Thank you so much, Brother RY. And again, to our YouTube live chat commenters for always supporting us here on INC Radio Micronesia. And now we would like to invite you to our next broadcast, tying in with the theme of celebration. On March 24th, our broadcast will be celebrating the 55th anniversary of the local congregation of Guam. And our brethren from the local congregation of Guam will share with us highlights from the past 55 years of their local congregation. So we hope that you continue to support us in our upcoming broadcast. Now, Brother Michael, would you like to tell us who is our local hashtag challenge winners?
Yes, yes. And with the support and help of our Kuwait text, uh, let's see who's our local hashtag winner. Yes, and Locale of Saipan wins it again. Congratulations to the Locale of Saipan. And the most supportive for our broadcast last week.
Sister Didith
Sister
Pasha.
Didith Pasia. Is it Pasia? Parsia. All
Pasha.
right. Congratulations, Paul. Yes.
Thank you so much, Brother Michael. And also thank you so much to Sister Didith for always supporting us here on INC Radio, and to the local congregation of Saipan for always being so supportive here on INC Radio. You have been winning our local hashtag challenge winners. But maybe this time it will be those in the locale of Coblerville. Because our guests from the locale of Coblerville, right, are here tonight with us. But before we end our show tonight, we want to end our shows with thank yous, starting with Brother RY.
Before we end our show, I would like to say thank you to our new crew members in Saipan, which is Sister Anne, Faye, Bam Bam, Sister Jillian, and Sister Gwyneth. We also have Brother Judah, Brother Matt, Brother Husky, and Kuya Red. We also have the crew members on Guam. We have Sister Avi, Sister Maria, Sister Arlene, and Sister Randy. And we also have Brother Sean, Brother Randy, and Brother Micah. And also like to say thank you to our guests today for
Thank you too. Thank
participating.
you.
And yes. And how about you, Kuya Michael?
Yes, and we always like to thank our INC radio station manager in the Philippines, Brother Arnel Solano. Thank you, po. And to our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya, and to our Kuya Manly. Thank you always for your support and help in our broadcasts.
Yes, and thank you once again to everyone who has tuned in to INC Radio Micronesia. But please stay tuned for TikTok. Bye-bye po. Thank you so much for tuning in.